So firstly, here we've got, the Verde Environmental Energy Group, this whole big group like across the country that's able to go out there and represent the customer, or help the customer solve energy problems, from energy to solar repairs, to air conditioning, to batteries, making sense of all of that, and then all this other stuff, the stuff that's coming out later on. So Verde has this really unique opportunity where the best of the best in terms of the energy business and assembly has all assembled itself around, giving the Verde Environmental Energy Consultant the best opportunity to find a winning solution to match the customer's needs. Because one thing we need to remember as an energy consultant, if we're effective, is that we need to have an appreciation when we walk onto a customer's home or into a customer's business that everyone's energy is different. Everyone's energy consumption is different. Everyone's appliances are different. Everyone's house is different. So there's always a whole range of different elements. So arming you, and this is part of the success that we have assembled for you guys, is we've created a model, a 5-stage model that I will recap. So 5 areas that we believe, based on our subject matter experts' opinion, are the 5 areas that will give the customer the biggest bang for buck by dealing with you, the biggest savings, the best result. So it's our 5-stage energy model. So this is a good thing. So you're not going to go onto a property with only a narrow approach of products. You're going to be able to have in your toolkit, just like a tradie does or a carpenter does, he's got hammers, he's got drills, he's got all sorts of things, because on side the property you don't know. So your toolkit of product offers and energy saving opportunities. So the offers that we've created so far. So just to recap, we have 1.5 million homes that already have solar. And there is 11 million connections in the NEM. The NEM is what? National Energy Market. Fantastic. And it stretches all the way from South Australia through Victoria, connected to Tasmania, New South Wales and Queensland. We're not connected. Those 11 million properties that I mentioned are not in Western Australia or Northern Territory. So that's all connected in the national electricity market. Now, we believe that we can sell, or that we've assessed already, that there are 7.5 million dwellings or businesses or connection points in the energy NEM that are suitable for a solar connection or some sort of storage or battery intervention. So this represents about 25%. And remember, this is just a recap. This happened because of rebates, multipliers, and also fits, right? So the rebates. What's important about 2020? The RET, Renewable Energy Target.
I knew it was going to be something.
Okay, so where we said as a country that 20% of our energy will come from renewable sources, renewable energy. So these rebates, which are called STCs, which give discounts, small scale certificates but just STCs, is out of this element here, this renewable energy target. So the birth of solar in Australia came from the renewable energy target, where we have an aspiration as a country to drop our emissions in greenhouse and carbon and other things by 20%, or 20% of our renewable energy sources will come from renewable products like wind, hydro, solar, geothermal, and other advanced technologies, carbon capture and abatement and things. But we're interested mainly in the solar space, because at the moment, thanks to the question about why can't we put wind in our properties, because wind is abundant as well, just cancelled. So we have an issue around the aesthetics of wind, but it's improving all the time. When we overcome that, we should be able to do wind as well. But solar is the easy stuff to do right now. So these rebates came out of that. So basically what happens here is this is a government program, but the government don't pay for this incentive. The energy companies, so if you're an energy company in Australia, a generator or heavy user, you have to demonstrate to the government that a certain percentage of your energy consumption or production is from these sources. That's the law. So that's where the market comes from. So these rebates and things and discounts that we provide on solar equipment is because we sell those incentives or those carbon savings to these users, these energy companies and the big heavy users. So the government aren't paying for that money, the industry is. Origin Energy have to buy or have to generate a certain percentage of electricity from renewable and clean sources. So I have heard a lot of people say, and I've seen in the paper, hurry, government incentives are ending soon. It's not a government incentive, that's not correct. They're not paying for it. Origin Energy have to pay for it. Now when they buy these energy certificates, if they're expensive, they pass it on to you as a cost. It's included in what they pass on to you. So that's just an important point. Now the good thing is this renewable, we're only in what, year what?
2016.
Yeah, so we've still got 4 years to go, and then they're even talking about in Paris, you've seen them talk about 2030, and there's policies out there around 2050. So whether we believe in climate change or not, there is a policy in place in various parts of the global economic system to try and encourage us to adopt these technologies. By putting these incentives and programs and requirements in place, that has driven the demand up, which drives the price of these goods down. So we all didn't put solar in our homes 10 years ago because it was very expensive, because it is an expensive technology, and only very few people purchased it. So we must be thankful for this move globally, because it's created this business opportunity for us with these renewable energy targets and carbon abatement activities globally. So they support the industry, and it means there's longevity in the industry. So this business isn't going anywhere quickly. In fact, technology is accelerating its adoption from customers, which is just exceptional for us. So that's what we have, the renewable energy target. Now, what happened is to help accelerate the adoption of solar and renewable energy technologies in Australia, we multiplied these certificates by 15 years. So what we allowed was, when we install a solar system, the energy is free from the sun. So it creates a benefit which is called a certificate. So the benefit is a certificate. And I call it an STC because it's a small scale certificate effectively, when the industry refers to them as this. So when you put in a 5 kilowatt system, we generate a certificate. That certificate can be traded to Origin Energy and they'll pay money for that certificate. Now, to help us really get going in the Australian marketplace, they allowed us to times that value of that certificate, which is $40, by 15 years. So they made Origin Energy buy 15 years worth of those certificates in one transaction, because it would be complicated for customers every year to turn up and trade certificates. So if you own a renewable energy device and it's large enough, you can trade your certificates every year. So this is also an exciting proposition for the future. So if you've been involved in any of the Viridian conversations, Viridian Energy buy carbon abatement certificates and offset the negative impacts of energy. So you can also see in the future that once these schemes and programs finish globally, a whole new business will emerge, where every year we help the customers trade the benefits of the energy savings that they've got. So it's important to know this, even though I can see some of the looks on people's faces going, what's this? Because this is the fundamental basis of why solar is so cheap. This is why the industry just went boom globally. But this is also why it's important that we have the Verde Environmental Energy Group out there helping customers with a range of different solutions, because this is a hardware business for now, but in the future it's a financial transaction business. This is like the stock exchange. So if Angela and Oman put hundreds of kilowatts of energy on their roof, and generators and smart batteries and wind systems, they would generate all of these green energy savings that they could sell the value of the savings they created to BHP. So they do that also. Even in Australia, farmers can trade the carbon abatement of land and trees. So it's heavy. You'd only probably concentrate on the fact that there's a renewable energy target in place. So this is my elevator pitch inside a home. There's a renewable energy target in place, which is encouraging us and your home to make cleaner energy. Therefore, there's an incentive available for you today to buy an energy system that you own at a cheaper price. Because normally, let's say for easy numbers, it's 10 grand to buy a 5 kilowatt system, but we can pick up a rebate of around $3,500. So the customer only gives me, what's that, a check for 7.75, 6.5. So that's currently how it happens, because now someone else looks after all of those trading of certificates and things. However, the customer can elect to keep them and pay you the full price. That's up to them. Because you can keep them, but at the moment they're worth $40, but that's not a fixed price. So the reason why lots of the solar companies went broke is that price fell to about $16. So it is a risk. So everything in energy is a risk. So at the moment they're worth $40, which is why sometimes you see this fluctuate to $2,700, sometimes it's $3,300. The discount that people take off systems is all over the place.
Right.
For this reason, is that the certificate that we create. So what's happening on 1st of January is we're not allowed anymore to times that certificate by 15 times. We only can sell it for 14 times the value. Then the following year it's 13, etc. It winds down over the next 15 years until it gets to a multiplier of 1. So that's when the new system will come. So I'm sorry it's pretty heavy going, but that's the basis of what's happening, what's the benefit of solar, the benefit of wind,